Have you ever given a compliment that just seemed to vanish into thin air? Maybe you felt that way before. The words you chose didn't seem to land. But the reason isn't complicated. Most men don't know how to communicate with real depth. Today, we're exploring 8 specific phrases rooted in timeless wisdom and modern psychology that make a woman feel truly known, not flattered, not tricked, but genuinely understood. The first one is this: the way you think always shifts my perspective. This isn't your average compliment. Most praise focuses on appearance, style, or surface-level traits. Sure, beauty can grab a glance, but it never keeps someone's attention. What truly captivates, what truly pulls a person in, is the mind. This phrase is potent because it tells her that her ideas have weight. Not her face, not her vibe, but her thoughts, her intellect, her point of view. Ancient strategists understood a key truth about people. We value those who make us reconsider, those who offer us a new lens, those who unlock parts of our thinking we didn't know were closed. Science supports this too. There's a concept known as cognitive intimacy, a deep bond formed through sharing meaningful ideas and conversations. It's a connection based not on looks, but on how two minds interact and ignite. When you tell her, "The way you think always shifts my perspective," you're saying her intellect has power. You're indicating her opinions aren't just background noise, they're influential. Here's the reality. Many women aren't celebrated for their intelligence. They hear about their beauty, their form, their fashion, but their inner world, their insights, their convictions, hardly anyone pauses to honor that. That's what makes this sentiment so uncommon, and uncommon things are remembered. This phrase communicates. You don't just speak, you provoke thought. Your outlook is distinct. You introduce concepts that challenge me. You expand my understanding. I gain something every time we talk. That feels significant. It builds deeper respect. It forges a link based not on the physical, but on a genuine meeting of minds. Picture this. She shares a simple remark, an observation, an anecdote. Most people might let it pass with a nod, but you truly hear it. You consider it. You allow it to change you. When she sees her thoughts have the capacity to alter yours, that's when she feels valued on a profound level. This matters because a woman who feels intellectually respected will always remember the man who made her feel that way. This compliment also reveals your character. It shows you're open, you're reflective, you value substance. You're not just waiting for your turn to talk, you're listening to actually comprehend. Most people don't operate that way. They only process the obvious, but you demonstrate that you hear her differently. You hear with purpose. You hear with genuine interest. And interest is one of the strongest bases for any real bond. This line is quiet proof that you're not merely drawn to her, you're motivated by her. And motivation is something people never forget. So when you say her thinking shifts your view, you're offering praise that touches her intellect, her identity, and her sense of importance. It is subtle, profound, respectful, and scarce. And that's precisely why it lingers long after you've said it. The second phrase, you elevate the people near you. There's something uniquely powerful here. Even though the words are straightforward, most compliments target looks or minor attributes. People constantly hear "great smile," "you're beautiful," or "I like your outfit." But almost no one hears appreciation for their positive effect on others. And that is exactly why this one resonates so deeply. Studies from leading institutions show humans form powerful attachments to those who recognize their beneficial impact. In short, we feel closest to people who make us feel significant. This phrase does exactly that. It tells her, you don't merely occupy space, you create positive change. Think about that. Most individuals move through life questioning if they improve anyone's experience. They wonder if they offer real value, if their presence means something, if their actions help others develop. And often, they never receive feedback on it. Not from colleagues, not from friends, sometimes not even from family. So when you tell a woman she elevates those around her, you're speaking to a part of her spirit that rarely gets addressed. You're telling her she isn't just appreciated. She's impactful. She uplifts. She improves the feeling in a room simply by being there. She encourages people to dream bigger, feel more secure, push further, or laugh more easily. This isn't about attractiveness. It's not about possessions or social media. It's about her core being. And people don't forget praise that connects to their essence. This statement says, you make others feel at ease. You inspire growth. You bring a calm or uplifting energy that touches everyone. You don't even exert effort. Your mere presence transforms situations. Most women don't hear this. In fact, many regularly doubt the value they bring to their loved ones. So hearing this feels like someone finally sees the truth she hoped was visible. This compliment also signals something bigger about you. You're noticing her influence, not just her image. You're observing how she engages, how she listens, how she supports, how she treats people. And that caliber of attention feels unusual. It feels secure. It feels meaningful. It demonstrates emotional intelligence on your part as well. Because a man who notices subtle elements like emotional effect, kindness, or empathy is a man who looks beneath the surface. And that makes you different immediately. Also, this isn't mere flattery. It's a mirror. It reflects back to her the finest parts of herself, the parts she may not discuss, but secretly hopes are visible. Many try to impress by boasting about their own feats. But when you tell her she elevates others, you're showing humility. You're showing awareness. You're showing you grasp a deeper truth about human connection. People don't fall for the loud or showy. They fall for those who make them feel appreciated. And when you say these words with sincerity, it creates a quiet moment where she feels understood unexpectedly. Moments like that embed themselves in memory. They become part of the story she tells herself about you. Very few women ever receive this compliment. And that's exactly what makes it impossible to forget. Not because it's extravagant, but because it's authentic. Number 3, I see the dedication behind what you do. A lot of praise in our world is shallow. It sounds pleasant momentarily, but doesn't actually reach the heart. People are accustomed to you look nice, great hair, or pretty dress. Sure, those feel okay for a second, but they fade quickly, as if never spoken. This compliment, however, is totally different. It goes deeper because it doesn't applaud her appearance or something fleeting. It applauds something that demands time, effort, and soul. Historical thinkers believe humans crave recognition above all. They noted people care less about applause for an outcome and more about being seen for the labor behind it. Modern research concurs. Studies indicate that when someone's effort is acknowledged, it triggers a stronger emotional reaction than praising the result alone. Why? Because effort is personal. Effort is the part people conceal. It's the late hours, the anxiety, the uncertainty, the moment she perseveres unwitnessed. When you notice that you're seeing the segment of her life she normally keeps private, this phrase tells her something potent. You are not unseen. You are not ignored. I observe what you invest in your work, your life, your choices, and I respect it. Imagine, most only see her finished product. The high score, the polished image, the calm demeanor, the final outcome. But barely anyone witnesses the long path behind it. The time she nearly quit, the discipline required, the inner strength needed to continue. This shows her you perceive both the surface and the foundation. It says she is more than the end result. It says she is someone whose commitment matters. Someone who strives not from obligation, but from having standards, aims, visions, and principles. It tells her the part she thought was invisible, the part she worked so hard to cultivate, is finally being recognized. And that strikes a unique chord. It also generates a sense of safety. When someone acknowledges your effort, you feel you can be your complete self around them. You feel comprehended. You feel value for who you are, not just what you produce. Here's a key point. Very few men offer this type of praise. Most remain on the superficial level, often because they never learn to speak from a deeper place. But when you use this, you're demonstrating emotional maturity. You're showing you pay attention to more than aesthetics. You pay attention to character. Most miss this. They see the exterior. They see what's plain, but you don't. You see what's behind the veil. You notice the details that count. And that alone places you in an entirely separate category. Because in a world hungry for quick attention, the person who sees genuine effort becomes memorable. Phrase 4. Your presence alone improves a room. This compliment is special because it addresses a type of influence most people never recognize in themselves. Certain individuals brighten a space the instant they enter, not by being noisy, not by trying to impress, not by any grand act, but simply because their energy shifts the atmosphere in a quiet, natural manner. They don't force it. They don't perform. They just are. And somehow, the mood changes. That's the power this phrase recognizes. Research on emotional contagion shows how one person's mood, tone, and energy can alter an entire environment. The findings reveal that emotional impact creates stronger, more enduring bonds than physical appeal ever could. Looks might capture a glance, but emotional presence is what people recall. So, when you say, your presence alone improves a room, you're appreciating something she probably seldom hears. Most never get acknowledged for their silent effect on others. People might praise her beauty, her clothes, her talents, but her aura, that's almost never mentioned. That makes this rare. This tells her, you bring peace where there's chaos. You bring warmth where there's chill. You provide comfort wordlessly. You lift the vibe effortlessly. You are the type of person others simply feel good beside. It's the kind of statement that makes someone stop, breathe, and think, no one has ever said that to me. Because emotional presence can't be fabricated. It springs naturally from who she is. Her integrity, her compassion, her energy, how she listens, how she smiles, how she carries herself. It's a small unconscious thing she does. Most never see that, but you do. And that makes her feel known in a fresh way. Picture it. She doesn't utter a word, and the room already feels altered, lighter, warmer, more relaxed. People speak freely. Tension dissolves. Conversation improves. And no one knows why except you. You noticed. You notice she doesn't just inhabit a space. She enhances it. This also tells her she doesn't need to perform for you. She doesn't need to be flawless. She doesn't need to strive or look a certain way. Her natural being is already sufficient, more than enough. It's powerful. And that's a profound feeling for anyone. Because in a world where people constantly feel they must do more to be liked, this says the opposite. You as you are already worthwhile. It grants her validation she didn't seek but deeply desires. It shows emotional intelligence on your part. You're attending to the energy she carries, not merely her appearance. And it builds emotional closeness because it tells her you recognize a part most miss. She didn't have to impress you. She didn't have to act. She didn't have to earn the praise. Her existence alone improved the setting. And very few compliments feel as pure and true as that. So when you say her presence improved a room, you're giving her a truth about herself she likely never knew. A truth that will remain long after your talk ends. Number 5. I respect how you live by your principles. This goes far beyond typical you're confident or you're strong. Confidence can be loud. Confidence can be displayed. Confidence can even be pretended. But conviction is different. Conviction is quiet. Conviction resides in a person's values, decisions, and actions. Conviction is a part that remains firm when everything tries to move it. That's why this touches a much deeper place. People admire confidence, but they are drawn to conviction. Wisdom traditions teach that loyalty grows when you respect someone's core tenets, the inner code they won't break, even when it's hard. Psychology agrees. Experts state that moral identity, the values a person actually lives by, is one of the deepest, most stable parts of human personality. So when you say, I respect how you live by your principles, you are honoring something sacred. You're valuing the part that guides her choices, her boundaries, her path, and her self-concept. Most compliment accomplishments. Very few compliment values, and almost no one compliments integrity. So, this connects in a place usually left alone. It tells her, you're not easily swayed. You don't bend just to please. You know what matters. You live with clarity, not confusion. And I honor you for that. This doesn't just make her feel nice. It makes her feel seen as a person of character. And that is uncommon. Consider how many change their views to fit in. How many say one thing and do another. How many lose themselves seeking approval. So when she meets someone who says, I respect how you live by your principles, it's potent because it celebrates something many conceal, their inner truth. You're recognizing her backbone, her internal fortitude, her capacity to hold on to her identity even when it's difficult, her ability to say no when others say yes, her willingness to stand alone if it's right. That isn't just appealing, it's deeply respectable. This also communicates something about you. It shows you prize inner strength. You esteem ethics. You're attracted to authenticity in a world full of pretense. It shows you view her not as an object, but as a person with a moral guide. And here's the beautiful part. People remember moments when someone acknowledged their integrity, not their looks, not their successes, but their character. Because character is the part that took the longest to build. The part forged through errors, lessons, hurt, bravery, and growth. The part seldom discussed but secretly hoped others would notice. And when you notice, it builds trust. It builds respect. It creates emotional safety, the sense she can be herself around you without judgment. So, when you tell her you respect her principles, you're giving her a compliment she won't hear from many. That makes it unforgettable. You're acknowledging the strongest part of her, the part that doesn't shift with trends, the part that defines her. And praise like that stays in the heart for a very, very long time. Number 6. You perceive details others overlook. This is powerful because it touches a part of someone's identity almost no one discusses. Many move through life quietly observing the world, noting subtleties, emotions, patterns, shifts, but they rarely get credit for it. It's a hidden talent, a silent skill, something that exists in the mind, not on the visible surface. And that's why this resonates so profoundly. In psychology, there's what's called a uniqueness trigger. It means people feel special when someone notes a quality they privately value. Not something obvious like beauty, but something internal, subtle, and rare. When you say she perceives what others miss, you're telling her that her awareness is important. You're telling her she views the world uniquely. You're telling her she has a mind that catches what passes by others, making her feel special in a real, respectful way. This says she's attentive. She notices. She reads subtleties. She listens beyond words. She listens with her gut. She senses feelings in eyes, strain in a voice, slight energy changes, nuances in dialogue. And you're recognizing that part of her. Most overlook this trait because it doesn't shout. It doesn't glitter. It's quiet. It's internal. It's the sort of quality only thoughtful people see in others. So, when you see it in her, it tells her something significant. You're not just glancing. You're truly perceiving. You're not just hearing. You're comprehending. You're not stuck on the surface. You're paying attention to depth. Most compliments women get focused on the evident. Her smile, her figure, her clothes, her style. Those are fine, but they don't distinguish. They don't leave an imprint. They don't make her feel unique. They make her feel average. But when you compliment her perception, everything shifts. It tells her she possesses a mind that sets her apart. A consciousness that attends to details, emotions, and moments others simply ignore. Here's an intriguing point. People who notice small things often feel misunderstood or invisible themselves. They often think no one grasps the depth of their mind. They think people don't realize how much they absorb, how much they understand implicitly. So this compliment feels like someone finally recognizes that concealed part, that deeper, keener aspect. It shows your emotional intelligence. 2. It shows you value awareness. You value curiosity. You value attentiveness. You see life beyond headlines and first impressions. And that makes you stand out instantly. And when she realizes you appreciate her perception, it fosters trust because it means you're paying attention to who she is, not just her appearance. This feels intimate because it's about the inner world, how her mind operates. It tells her she's not just attractive, she's insightful. She's not just interesting, she's perceptive. She doesn't just experience life, she notices it. That's a trait most don't even see in themselves, let alone have acknowledged. So when you say she perceives details others miss, you're giving her a rare form of recognition, the kind that makes her feel understood, valued, and seen on a level most never reach. And that's exactly how you become distinct. Not by trying harder, but by seeing deeper. Number 7. You inspire me to improve myself. This one differs from all others because it doesn't just describe her. It describes her effect on you, and that makes it immensely powerful. Most praise discusses looks, personality, abilities, or behavior. But this is about something deeper. How her presence alters your direction, your mindset, your standards. This isn't about her exterior. It's about who you become when she's near. That's rare. Strategic wisdom teaches that real influence doesn't stem from control, but from elevation, making people rise simply by being near them. Science supports this. Research reveals that growth-based bonds, where people inspire each other to better themselves, are among the strongest and healthiest human connections. So, when you say, "You inspire me to improve myself," you're telling her she brings out a part of you that even you admire. She doesn't nag you. She doesn't pressure you. She doesn't demand anything. Her mere existence makes you want to level up. You're not saying she completes you. You're not saying she fixes you. Those are heavy, unhealthy notions. You're saying something far more potent. You motivate me. You make me desire growth. You challenge me positively. You encourage me without effort. You help me envision my potential. And inspiration is unforgettable. Think, how many people do we encounter who genuinely motivate us to improve? Not through criticism or pressure, but by being so grounded, kind, smart, or passionate that we naturally want to match that energy. Very few. That's why this lands so deeply. And it also tells her something meaningful about herself. She has a positive effect. She adds value to her surroundings. She doesn't just occupy space. She raises it. She doesn't just exist. She affects existences. This shows you're paying attention not only to your bond, but to your own evolution. It shows you're someone who wants to develop, someone who reflects, someone who wants to become stronger, calmer, wiser, or more disciplined because she sparks that desire. This also creates a healthy dynamic. You're not idolizing her. You're not becoming needy. You're simply acknowledging a beautiful reality. Some people ignite something within us we didn't know existed. That spark is what this is about. And when she hears it, she feels powerful in a gentle manner. Not power over you, but power in her ability to foster positive change. People rarely hear they inspire others. Most don't even know their effect. So hearing it feels revelatory. It makes her think, I make someone better just by being me. I influence someone positively. My presence has meaning. My energy has impact. Those realizations build emotional closeness. They build trust. They build respect. And crucially, they stick in memory. So when you say she inspires you to improve, you're giving one of the highest compliments possible. It's scarce. It's meaningful. It's potent. And it's unforgettable. People don't fall for flattery. They fall for feeling comprehended. They fall for being truly seen in a world that often looks right past them. Use these phrases with sincerity. Use them with honor. And remember, the strongest bonds aren't made with perfect lines, but with genuine attention. If this offered you a new perspective, show your support. It helps more than you know. Please like this video. It truly helps the channel Winds of Thought continue to create content that matters. Thank you for watching.